Now we can.
Yeah. So before starting the session, let me introduce myself. My name is Vamshi. It's not Venkat. Okay. Today I'm here to explain you about Capstone's project case 1, case 2, case 3. Okay. So I hope so everyone are aware of Capstone's projects, right? Or you're new to with this?
Sir, new to this. I am new to this.
Okay, fine. So we'll start with the
So
instructions.
this is completely new.
Yeah, fine. I'm starting with the instructions where it will be followed to the preparation of your capstones. Okay. So first most thing, copy paste things are not entertained here. If you found copy pasted, so until you prepare from your end, you'll be not promoted for next case. Okay. Copy paste things are not accepted here. So if any paper found, that paper will not be evaluated. So you have to justify your answers. If you're not able to justify your answers, until you justify your answers, till that time you'll be working on the same project. Clear? So copy paste means either image, either diagram or text, whatever it might be, it's not entertained. If done, the document will not be evaluated. That is the first instruction where you have to be followed. So second, the moment you're completed with your documentation, so after you submit your answers, you should be prepared for attending the viva on the document what you have been submitted. The moment you are done with preparation of your documentation on Capstone project case 1, you have to be ready with viva. So in viva, whatever the answers have been written, that you have to be justified. So if you're not able to justify the answer which written by yourself, okay, until you clear that round, you'll be there in that particular round itself. You can't promote it for next task. So here you can't say that I'm a working professional, I'm not able to concentrate on my particular task which is given. That is what I can do. So I can't attend the viva. Please attend me the case. Case 2 means that won't be possible here, as you come to us in a first day itself. We have been clearly updated you what will be the nurturing process. If you follow us only, we can support you, right? So here you can't use that thing called I'm a working professional, because you came here for learning. Yes or no? So that's the reason. If you're not able to justify your answers for the written answers, okay, then until you clear that round, you'll be there in that particular round itself. 2 points is clear? So after submission of the answers of
Yes,
this prep exam, you should be prepared to attend viva and justify your answers in the prep exams. If in viva, participant is not justifying the answers, viva will be repeated until candidate justify 95% of the correctness. So the pass percentage for your Capstone's project is 95% is the minimum pass percentage, where you have to obtain that percentage. So if you're not able to obtain that percentage, you can retake the exam how many times you want. So there is no restriction in retaking the exam. Next, third point. So mentor calls are scheduled only if the participant have submitted their task at least for one time. So when you can opt for a mentor call means initial attempt. First attempt should be there from your end. So Capstone first project will consisting of 44 topics of waterfall methodology. Out of 44, just imagine that you know only 5 or 10 or 15 topics. So just attempt that and send it for evaluation. Then the particular evaluator who is evaluating your paper, they'll contact you and they'll ask some basic viva questions on the topics what you have been prepared, and there you can enhance yourself. That means if you have any doubts, clarifications needed, each and everything at that step you can do that. But initial attempt you can't opt any assistance from COEPD, because as you know that it's the first time you're working on that task, right? You know the theoretical knowledge, yes or no? The moment you're completing your theoretical classes, only you're going through the practical, right? So whatever the topics you are covered in the case one, those all the things we have been covered in theoretical session. It's not a new topics. It's already you have been gone through the theoretical session. That's the same topic where we are given you in the case studies. So you have to understand the topic and you have to prepare that. So third point is clear, right? Mentor calls are scheduled only if the participant have submitted their task at least for one time. Okay. Third point is clear. Does anyone have any clarifications? Is third point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next. For attempting the prep exams, participants should be thorough on the topics using their references. That means we are providing you material as well as the recorded video sessions, right? So you can refer the topics from these two things and you can attempt it. So that's the application means, okay? For attending prep exams, participants should be thorough on the topics using their references. Next, you have to follow a format here. That means whatever the answer you're writing, that should consisting of a question number. The format you can see here always have a question number and question and answer. Either you can follow the question number and answer, or else if you want to do both, for every question you have to copy paste the particular thing, what you call whatever the document you're creating. If you're writing for first question, so copy the question and paste it in your document and write the answer. Again for second thing, so copy the question and paste in your document and again write the answers. Either any one format you can follow, either only the question number with answer you can write, or else repeat the question and write the answer. This is the two formats which you have. Any one format you can follow. Next, if you are using Arial, the entire document should be in Arial itself, or else if you are using Calibri, so it's all information whatever you are updating into the document, that should be in a Calibri. Okay, font size will be 12 and the font color will be black. So a few questions are related to the case study. So I guess everyone are aware of comprehensive exams. I guess everyone are aware of comprehensive exams. So where the
No, sir.
paragraph will be given to you, below to that you will be having the questions. But the questions answers will be given in a paragraph itself.
Yeah.
That's the same format we have been followed here. For every question, the answer is in their case study itself. You have to read the case study and you have to answer it. Fine. That's a sixth point. And seventh point, we have been read that few questions are related to the case study. If you check the question thoroughly in the case study, then you will be finding the answer well. Okay. Next, please focus on learning and applying the knowledge, as this knowledge will be helpful in your contributing of your BA job. So if you're taking this task as a granted, okay, just imagine, I'm not pointing out anyone, I'm just saying the consequences, what exactly happens. So if you take this task as a granted, then no one can help you in an interview, because you will be getting that much knowledge here in this case studies. If you miss any task here, then it will be very difficult you to clear that. So instructions is clear, right?
Sir, please repeat the eighth point.
Answer should be elaborated in detail. That means in these topics we have been given a marks like 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks, 7 marks. Okay, if you see the marks and write the answer, the marks will be given as per the content itself. For 1 mark we might give half mark, for 2 marks we might give 1 mark, for 5 marks we might give 2 marks, because we are making this in perspective of 100 marks. We have total 44 topics in waterfall methodology. 44 into 10, how many marks it will happen? 440. If we want to keep it as a 10 marks. So nowhere, no exam will conduct for 440 marks, right? So just for 100 marks, we have been given some basic marks for the questions. If you see and write the answers as per the question mark given, then answer wise only the marks will be given from evaluator. So we are requesting you to update minimum 10 sentences for each question. We are asking you to update minimum 10 sentences for the question what you are preparing. That is the 8th point. Answers should be elaborated in detail, not as per the allotted marks. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is the case study where you have to go through the case study. So you'll be working on a project called Online Agriculture Product Store. So this is the case study where you'll be working here, Online Agriculture Product Store. So you have to read the case study. So take some time, read the case study properly, then only you can understand that. So I guess everyone are aware of BPM. So first question will start with BPM. I guess you all are aware of it. Business Process Modeling. Right? So in your theoretical classes, you might gone through the example called sugarcane juice wala or else bank support, ATM. Are you able to recollect?
Yes.
So here in this BPM, you can see already we have been given the things what you have to require. We are required of goal, input, resources, outputs, activities, value created. So these are the things which you have to update it here. BPM. So let us take same example that sugarcane juice wala. So what is the goal of sugarcane juice wala?
Earning.
Profit, right? Profit is a goal. So what is the inputs you are using there?
Sugarcane.
Sugarcane in and serving glasses, right?
Serving glasses, right?
So inputs you are using there is sugarcane sticks as well as the serving glasses. Next, what is the activities you are performing there?
Crushing, cleaning.
Depending on the order of the customer, we make juice. That is the activity what we are performing, right?
Right.
And we'll collect the payment.
It's cleaning the sugarcane and crushing.
Not cleaning, it's a crunching.
Collection.
Crunching. Yes.
So, depending on the order of the customer, he will make the juice and he will collect the payment. That is the activity they perform, right? So, what is the resources we require? We required a crunching machine to crunch the juice and the vessels to store the juice and serving glasses, reusable glasses to serve the juice. These are the resources what we required, right?
Yes.
So what is the end user value we are getting here? Is making you to feel unthirsty. That means quenching the thirst, right?
Yes.
So the same way here for the given online agriculture product store, you have to go to the case study and you have to understand the case study and you have to identify what is the goal of your project, what is the input you'll be giving, what is the activities you'll be performing, what is the resources you require, what is the output you'll get, and what is the end user value you're going to generate. This exactly you have to explain here. BPM. First question is clear.
Yes, sir.
Is first question is clear?
Disturbance actually.
Sorry. I didn't got you. What exactly you said?
Actually, there was disturbance. Now it's okay.
Okay, fine. So, is there any doubts in BPM? First question.
Yes, sir.
No.
Actually, Venkat sir, if we have to give only the goal inputs which is given in the bracket, or do
Yes.
we have to draw an activity diagram
No,
also,
no,
some
no,
kind of?
not an activity diagram. Business process modeling means we don't draw any diagram, right?
Okay.
You are identifying the
So
goal.
generally, business process model defines like the process model we should show through diagrammatic presentation only. No,
No,
if
see,
these things
without,
are enough for the display.
for example, without identifying the goal, how we can draw the activity diagram or design it?
Yes,
First,
of
we
course,
have
sir.
to
And
understand the requirement first, right?
yeah,
That is why, sir, the question itself says identify BPM.
Hmm.
So it's like identifying which process model, business process model we are implementing in this particular case study. So that is what I got confused. The question said identify.
We don't have any multiple BPMs. We have only one BPM, that is business
one-
modeling. In that, we will define what is the goal of the project, what is the inputs we require for the project, what is the resources we require, what are the activities we perform, okay, what is the output we generate, so what is the end user value you get. This is what you have to define,
Okay.
not the diagram.
Okay, it is simple. It made it complicated. Okay, fantastic.
Okay, clear? So second
Yes, sir.
question is, it covers of SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So I guess you remember this topic which has been discussed in a theoretical session. So strengths and weakness will be done from which area? Either from client end or company end.
internal, sir, internal.
Yeah, these are the things which are done
Internal.
internally. Coming to the opportunity and threats, which are affecting
It's
from externally.
external.
Like for suppose, just imagine that in childhood onwards, when we shift to one class to other class, our class teacher is to ask us, what is your strengths and weakness, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So there you used to say my strength is something something and weakness is something something, right? So same way here from the company end, if they feel that getting a project is a strength of them, because where they can prove themselves what they are. So what is the weakness might be? Can anyone guess what might be the weakness? So strength, we are thinking that after getting a project, make sure that it will be succeeded. That is a strength they will think. Now, what is the weakness will be happen there? What might be the weakness?
Climate change, or maybe the food
So
chain.
any gap in technology or process.
Mhm. Next.
Availability of resources.
Yes. So if there is no efficient resources for making that project success, then it's a weakness, right? Like for suppose there is a weight of 10 tons. 10-ton weight is there, okay? How many people we require? There is a weight of 10 tons. How many people we require? So it's like some thousands, right?
On
Or
an average, we
500.
have to check 1% how much. 1% how much can he pick at least,
So minimum to
and
minimum
that
it
will
will go for
multiply.
1,000, right?
Sir, one
Yes.
more thing. Do we get this recorded version of this session?
Yes, already have been started recording it. You'll be getting it through YouTube.
Okay. The entire Capstone projects, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we'll calculate it. Minimum to minimum, we'll get at minimum like 1,000 or 750 people, or 1,000 above might be there. So if there is no sufficient resources to lift it, will it be possible to lift with 50 or 100 people?
No.
No.
That's the same way here. For the getting a project, you are thinking that it's the strength of yours. But for the project, if there is no sufficient resources, like likewise the project is required for a 40 resources, including tech team, developer, tester, BA, project manager, everyone. They required 40 resources. So now from company end, you have only 20 to 25 people. Will it be possible to do that?
No.
No, that's a weakness, right? So it's an internal thing where it's happening. So now you say me what might be the opportunity and threats? Opportunity.
That is external things.
So what might be? Can you guess anything?
In this particular project, we can say it is the first kind of project which is launching by the company.
Yes.
So there will be a good opportunities in the market.
Yes. So as this is the first time that we are building this software, there is no other software which is doing the same project. So that is our opportunity. So what will be the threat?
If someone launch before this project, it would be threat.
Yes,
I think so.
that is a valid point. Next.
Threats will be from the existing threats doing the
Cost.
products.
Cost, someone said cost, yes, that's also correct. Because if they're not giving any sufficient budget to you to complete the project. So then again it's a threat, right? If you don't have any sufficient budget, again, you can't make the project succeeded. So now we got how to do the SWOT analysis. See, whatever the questions you're preparing here, everything should be done in perspective of project. Don't think in terms of customer or in terms of client or in terms of company. Just go in perspective of project, what you're working. Next.
इसको लगा के
So third question here we have is a feasibility study. So feasibility study means, down you can see here, Mr. Karthik is trying to do a feasibility study on doing this project in technology Java. Please help him with points, that is hardware resources, software resources, trained resources, budget time frame to consider the feasibility study. So that means now what we are doing here is we are facilitating with a Karthik to make him understand. So how this project can be done. So how many hardware team we require, how many software requirement we have. Okay, hardware developers, software developers is there, right? So how many people we require and what are the trained resources we have, how much budget can be allocated for this project. Each and everything will be discussed by this feasibility. That means checking all the possibility ways how we can achieve the client requirement. Checking the feasibility that how we can implement this project and get succeeded. So in this kind of a project, we are planning in a Java technology. So now we are assisting Karthik to understand what kind of hardware support we required, how much software team we required, how many trained resources we required. So if this particular people is less, will it be possible to complete within the time and budget or not? These are the things will be checked in this feasibility study. So generally, for example, whenever we ran out of money, so for doing a charges of 1 rupee also we'll think about it, whether it is required for us or not, right? If you found that very less amount you have with you, okay, now what you do, imagine that you have been found very less amount in your account. Now to sustain, what you will do? So we'll check each and 1 rupee to 1 rupee, right? So whatever the items you are purchasing, by seeing the money of amount what we left over, we check the feasibility, right? So this many days is pending, this much is the budget I have. So for traveling, how much amount I required, For food, how much amount are required? For milk, okay, how much amount we required? So these are the things you'll do the feasibility, right? How I can sustain, yes or no? Hello,
Right.
Yes.
you make a feasibility on yourself, right? How to make adjustments. That's the same way here we do a feasibility on the project, that with this given budget whether it can be happened or not. These are the feasibilities which we do. Clear? Feasibility study. So next, fourth one, gap analysis. So do you have any idea about gap analysis?
Just a sec.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask the third question.
Mhm.
So here, what exactly you have to specify the hardware and the software resources, that how much time will the project will be done within the
How
time span?
many hardware
Is it
resources
like that?
required? How many software resources we require? What is the budget we have? What is the time we have? If we are hiring them,
Yeah,
how much
as
of time it will take? Yeah, you can go ahead. What is the doubt here?
okay. So in the above case study, I think it. Yeah. So in the above case study, it was written that something around 1 year something was written, that overall time
Yes.
span they have to complete the project.
Yes.
Some time budget has been allocated and some amount has been specified.
Yes.
Yeah. So for this, what exactly have to write here? Only the feasibility study that these many resources are required. So these many amount of testing will be done.
Yes.
Is it like that?
Yes.
So based on the, I think 1 year,
So
5 months
here they
is
have
done.
given 1 year.
2-3 months of grace period.
Okay, I'll make you understand. In
Yes.
this project, they have been given 2 years of project.
Yes.
The budget they have been given here is 2 crores, right?
Yes.
So now you have to do the feasibility within this 2 crores. Can it be happen to complete the project or not? You have to identify.
Okay. 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 Based on the number of people working on the project, how much time it will require to complete the project.
How much time it will require? How much
Okay. Okay.
budget we require? Whether it can be happen to complete within the budget or not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
I guess next question, gap analysis. You all are aware of gap analysis. So currently where we are and where we should be to define this gap from your project. So we do gap analysis. So as we know that this is the first project which you are working here. Do we have any current process for this? Do we have any current process for this
Yes,
application?
yes, we do. No
We do have.
applications are not there, but physical one.
Yeah, we do have a physical one, that is also not an application one. It's a manual process, right? So manual
Right,
process means
manual one.
currently we're not having anything.
True.
Where we are is nothing. Where we should be is a application should be provided for customer where they can access that and order the products, right? To be functionality here is we are going to create a web application for the farmers, right? To make them to order the pesticides, seeds, fertilizers. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you can see here, Mr. Karthik must submit gap analysis to Henry to convince to initiate this project. What points? That means compare as is existing process with to be future process. That is called gap analysis. So you have to identify the gap between present to future one, and you have to showcase to the client. That means he can be verified and he can be confident that okay, this is what I'm gonna generate here. Okay, gap analysis will always discuss with you like where we are and where we should be. That means what is the present condition and what is the future conditions will be described in this gap analysis. Fine.
Yes.
Next, risk analysis. So in theoretical session, we have been going through the risk analysis. There we have been given a definition that risk is a uncertain event which hinders your smooth flow of project and may affect on your time, budget, scope of the project. Are you able to recollect it? Risk means it is an uncertain event which may be affected on your time, budget, scope of the project. So that's the same way here. You also understand the risk analysis and you have to identify that. So what all you have to identify have been given clearly here. So list down different risk factors that may be involved, like beer risk, process risk, project risk. These three things you have to define here. What is the business analyst risk here? What is the process risk here? And one more thing they have been given. What is a project risk? So these three things you have to define here. Is it clear? Risk analysis.
Yes, sir.
So here you have to define what is the business risk we have, what is the process risk we have, what is the project risk we have. Anyone
So
have
for
any
example,
example?
yeah, sir. Yeah, one second, sir. So where for this project we have like I just wanted to give answer only like I am correct or not.
No,
So
that
where is the
that
where
won't
is
be
like
done here. As you know that it's a
huh,
wherein you have to attempt, right?
correct.
Okay.
So maybe stakeholder are not agree with plan. So it would be BA risk maybe for any project.
If you're not able to identify the requirement properly, it's a BA risk, right?
Correct.
Then, so that
And maybe too much changes for any project.
that you can identify while you attempt. Okay. So here I can't confirm you that whether it's right or wrong because I can make you aware like what their expectations here. Okay. So the moment you first attempt from your end, you'll be getting a viva call, right? So there you can clarify your doubts. Clear? So next is stakeholder analysis. So for this stakeholder analysis, we are using here RACI matrix, responsible, accountable, informed, consulted, and support group. So depending on your stakeholder identification, okay, you have to update it here. Who is a responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who is informed group. Clear? So you have to identify the types of stakeholders who can take the decisions and who can influence you. You have to identify the stakeholders who are influencing you and who are taking the decisions. So this, I guess everyone are aware of RACI matrix. So the table which is consisting of responsible, accountable, supportable. Yes, the table only I'm saying you.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want anything help like
No, sir. So no, sir. Can you please little bit elaborate about tracing matrix because I'm little bit confused in this topic.
what is the confusion we have here?
Sir, yes.
That's what. What is the confusion we have here?
So how can I decide like who will be responsible and accountable and informed person? Actually, I'm have little bit confused. Can you please give a little example about this? Not only this project, another example.
Okay, fine. We do have a family members, right? In our family, we'll be having 5, 4, some kind of members, right? So like a father, mother, son, okay, and daughter. So if son has married, he will be having his own wife also. Just imagine 6 members of a family size. So who is responsible for this family? Who will be responsible for this family?
Everyone,
Father.
everyone,
Not everyone. Father. If father is in not
Father.
correct way, everyone will follow the father itself, right? He's the one who guides you in the right path, right? So responsible here is father. Who is consulted group? You require anything, to whom you will be consulted?
father, mother, both.
Mother.
There is a first priority, right? So, I mean, in some rare cases, some people might be close with father, some might be with mother, but most of the percentages, every person will like to be opened up with the mother itself. We are considering here consultative group is a mother. Okay. So now, who is accountable here? Who is accountable in this family?
Mother.
Daughter or son, right? Because the moment there, I mean, our father mother's time has been completed, from that time onwards, son will take care of everything, right? He'll come under accountable. Okay, we do one thing, we shift this example. I don't want to go with this example. Generally you have your teammates in your group, right? I guess everyone is working in a companies. In your companies, you'll be having your teammates, right? Like developer or tester or technical team, if you have any friends. Okay, just imagine that you people are working in a project. So now, who is the responsible if you are working as a team? If anything happens to the project, who is the responsible?
Project manager.
Right? Next, who is responsible? Why project manager? Project manager will carry out the budget, right? Accountable will be project manager. Responsible is the person who is creating the documentations, right? BA.
Yeah.
The one who is creating the documentations or any kind of a designs, he will be the responsible first. Project manager will always handle the budget, due to which that comes under accountable. Clear? So project manager is accountable, BA is a responsible, and who is informed group?
Sponsor.
Stakeholders.
Customer means
All
the client.
Technical team.
Client, informed group.
But user, sir.
User.
That's what user means, client only, no?
Yeah, customers
Yeah.
or clients. Yes.
So client will be informed group, because whatever you do for the project, first you have to get verified, then only you have to work on the task, right? Without any information from the client, you are not supposed to start the project. Yes or no? So that's why client, that means customer will be informed group. Next, who is consultant group here?
SME. Expert.
Expert or developer or tester, right? After getting proper responses, that's what. After getting proper responses and requirements, we will be consulting with the tech team and will convert all the information to the tech language, and will make them to be informed what is the output requested and what we have to deliver. So admin, and that means, sorry, tech team, developer, testers, these three people will comes under consulted group. If we require anything, we will be consulting with these people itself. So the only one thing we are left over, that is supportable. So who is supporting you this project? Who is supporting your project here? Sponsor.
The sponsor.
Yes.
Sponsor management.
Sponsor means the one
Sponsor.
who is
Another
investing the money.
company, so the another company who is initiating this process, process.
Why other
Stakeholder.
company will be there?
Stakeholder.
The stakeholders, yeah.
That's what. Stakeholder only, business stakeholder, we have a sponsor, right? The one who
Yeah, sponsor.
invests the amount, sponsor. He will be the supportable. Clear? Have
So
you
is
got
there
the
any term like authority?
why authority will be there?
No, I'm asking you, is there any term like authority in this RACI matrix?
No, we don't have. RACI means S will be silent, R stands for responsible, S stands for supportable, A stands for accountable, C stands for consulted, and I stands for informed group. Apart from this, no other things will be there.
Sir, actually in PPT it is given as a star mark that authorized is also there.
Who is authorized person for this all the things? For BRD, who is authorized person? For BRD, who is authorized person?
Business analyst.
DA.
Right?
DA.
If project needs to get succeeded, who is the responsible? Who is the person is accountable?
PM, sir, project manager.
So in their own allocation, they
Yeah.
have authority, right? They have to provide us as information, right? Yes or no?
Okay. Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Understood, right? Shall we go for next question?
Please proceed.
So next question here is business case document. So please be clear here. It's not business requirements document. It's called business case document. So can anyone say who will prepare business case document?
Senior BA.
BA.
Not BA. BA will be creating business requirements document only. This will be prepared by senior BA.
Sponsor. Senior BA. Right?
Senior BA. Senior BA. Pre-sales consultant.
Business architect.
Yes. So these are the people who will be involved and they will create this business case document. So can anyone say what is the reason of creating this business case document? Can anyone say what is the reason of creating?
So sorry.
I think it will give a brief outline of the project, scope of project.
So to get exact information why this project is initiated, what are the organizational changes we have to make, right? It defines how much organization changes we have to make for the project, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So identifying the business problems on prior, and we will make sure that it won't be repeated in the real time. For that purpose only business case will be helpful for us. I guess you are open your workbooks, right? So you can see here. Is this visible? Hello. Is these questions are visible
Yeah,
to you?
but sir, it is
Yes,
visible.
sir.
It is visible.
It is
Yes,
visible.
visible.
So why is this project initiated? What are the current problems are there? So with this project, how many problems will be solved? What are the resources required? How much organizational changes is required to adopt this technology? Time frame to recover ROI. ROI means return on investment. Have to identify the stakeholders. So these all you have to define in this business case document. So while you write this business case document, you have to define those all questions. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So next, eighth question. Here you have to explain your 4 SDLC methodologies. Theoretical way you have to explain here. You have to explain your 4 methodologies here. Fine. Is that clear?
Yes.
Theoretically.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So mean to
theoretically.
say, we have to explain all the methodology theoretically,
Yes.
not anyone which is suitable for our case study.
Yeah, with the diagram. Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir.
So next, ninth question. So they're saying that waterfall model, RVP model, spiral and others, Scrum model is there. So they discussed models in SDLC like waterfall, RVP, spiral and Scrum. You put forth your understanding on these models. You have been take up one more methodology. So what is the one more methodology we have? I guess you all are aware of V model.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these are the 4 things which they were discussing, and you have been put your your understanding. So after understanding these 4, you have been came up with one more thing called V model. So here you have to define what exactly the V model is, what exactly the waterfall model is, without any diagram, just definitions. Here you are showcasing what are the methodologies available in real time, and here you are showcasing your 4th idea. If you want to define your 4th idea, you have to show the remaining methodologies which are available, right? So just you have to make a theory of that particular definitions. Waterfall model, RVP model, spiral model, and Scrum model. And fifth one is V model. You have to make a definitions of this 5. Clear? So you can see that when the APT Solutions company got the project to make this online agriculture product store, there is a difference of opinion between a couple of SMEs and the project team regarding which methodology would be more suitable for this project. SMEs are stressing on the using of a V model, and the project team is leaning more onto the side of waterfall model. As a business analyst, which methodology do you think would be better for this project? So to define this, first you have to explain about all the 5 things, right? So you have to explain your all 5 models definition. That is the 9th point of question. 10th question, you have to show the differences between waterfall versus V model. So just we have been read its information here, right? SMEs are stressing on V model, project teams are leading on waterfall model. Now, to make them clarify, okay, to make them clarity or clarifying the doubts, we are going to explain the differences between waterfall and V model. We are going to explain the difference between waterfall and V model. So can anyone say what is the difference between waterfall and V model?
Sir, in waterfall, it's
In waterfall model, No, your voice is breaking.
Like one,
Your voice is breaking. We are not able to audible your voice.
we have to complete first phase, then we go to the next second phase. Like first phase is complete, then only second phase. First phase and design. Sorry. In waterfall. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, in waterfall model, when first phase is complete, then only a second phase will start. In waterfall model, we can review every phase at a time. But in V model, first phase is continue with design and testing. Like if we are doing any phase, then design and testing are doing simultaneously.
Yes, that is a major difference between waterfall and V model. In waterfall model, you'll be working as a phase wise. Once the phase is completed, you'll be taking a review. That's it. You'll not do any testing or design. But V model, it's not like that. Here also you'll be working as a module or phase wise. But if you want to go for other module or other phase, first initially you have to complete your current phase with design and testing. Then only you can go for next phase in V model. So like this, you have to show your differences here. 11th question, 10th question, you have to show the difference between waterfall and V model. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So 11th question, you have to justify your choice, which you have been chosen. So what methodology we have to use here? Which
Waterfall.
methodology we have to use
V
here?
model.
Waterfall or V model?
Waterfall.
V model.
How many people say V model?
As V,
V model.
I say V model. Yeah.
So how many say waterfall model here?
Sir, waterfall model.
Can you read this line here, Mr. Van? So Mr. Van is mapped as a project manager to this project. He studies this project and prepares Gantt chart with V model. So for this project, we are using V model, not waterfall model. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So next, I guess everyone are aware of Gantt chart. Project manager will plan the project. Gantt chart.
Yes.
So project manager, BA, Java developers, already we have been given a hint to you here itself. Who all will be there in a Gantt chart? Project manager, BA, Java developer, testers, DB admin and new, that means network admin. So now you have to identify which resource is required from where to where. If you remember your theoretical sessions.
From which week to which week? It
Yes.
means. Okay.
So Gantt chart, if you remember, theoretical sessions, they have been shown for 15 weeks of time. But the same way here, you have to create a Gantt chart by using Excel. Is it clear for everyone? 12th question.
Okay.
Everyone is clear? 12th question.
Yes, sir.
So next 13th question, you have to describe about fixed bill project as well as billing project. Here you have to explain about fixed bid project as well as billing projects. In fixed bid project, what exactly happens, and billing project, what exactly happens, you have to explain here. Yeah. So in 13th question, you have to define fixed bid project as well as billing projects. So from 14th to 20 question, okay, from 14th question to 20 question, you have to show the timesheets. I guess everyone are aware of timesheets. Timesheets. How many are aware of?
Daily records. Yeah.
Yes. Timesheets. How
It
many
is the
people are aware
daily
of?
records of.
Yeah, apart from you, I'm asking about remaining. Whatever you say is correct only. How many people are aware of timesheets?
So daily reporting in and out,
Yes.
like login in and out according to their responsibility or what function you have done in that in and out period.
Yes. So I guess on daily basis, the moment you enter into your office, first you have to show your in time, and you have to show the task what you've been done for the day to your team lead, right? What was the task you have been completed for the day? You have to show there, and what is your out time? So have you done any overtime for the same task? Whether you have been done any OT? These are the things you have to update, and you have to make a total of hours. How many hours have been worked? Clear?
Yes.
Timesheet. So you have to make 7 different tables. For requirements gathering, you have to do one. Requirements analysis, you have to do again one. Designing timesheet, you have to do one. Development timesheets, testing timesheets, user acceptance test timesheet, deployment and implementation timesheet. For every one, you have to create one. Excuse me. So for each stage, you have to create one separately. Combiningly, you can't create that. It should be individual. Total 7 tables should be viewed here. Clear? 14 to 20 questions is clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubts?
Sir, in this question, we have to mention the name also. What person are doing the what
Task
responsibility?
Name. Task name. Here already have been given, right? Requirements gathering. That only you have to mention, and you have to show it for 5 days. Your working for week is a 5 days, right? Not 7 days now.
Right. Yeah, 5 days.
For 5 days, you have to show requirements gathering only. Okay.
Okay.
So next is audits. So I guess you all are aware of audits. Like generally in our companies also, sometimes our team lead or else our head department might do some audit on us, whether how efficient we're working, right? They'll come to you and they'll ask you on
Yes.
so and so date what was the task you have been completed, So what are the things you have been made? They'll have a cross check on you, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes.
that's
Yes.
the same way here. You have to explain what is audit means, and you have to define 5 quarterly audits. What will be planned? Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, quarter 5. So here you have to explain what is your knowledge and how these audits will happen for a BA. So as a BA, if you are working in a project, what kind of audit might be happen on BA? You have to explain it here. Fine. What kind of audits will be happen on a BA? You have to explain it here. Clear?
Yes.
So next, you have to write a BA approach strategy. So if you read this paragraph clearly, you'll be getting answer here itself. I don't want to explain you anymore. You can see this paragraph here. If you read this paragraph clearly, you'll be getting an answer for that. What is the BA approach strategy? So you can see here the questionnaire. What illustration techniques to apply, how to do the stakeholder analysis, what documents to write. Are able to get the answer? Approach strategy. Are you able to get it? BA approach strategy.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Other than this, I can't say you and I can't help you. Okay. So you have to write the BA strategy of approach. How you will be gathering the requirements. Before gathering the requirements, what all you have to do? You have to write under this 22nd question. Next, here you have to explain about 3-tier architecture. So first you have to define the illustration of the 3-tier architecture and you have to explain what exactly we use for that. First you have to illustrate the diagram. After you illustrate the diagram, you have to explain what is 3-tier architecture and why we use that. In 23rd question, you have to explain that 2 things. If any one thing is missing, then you'll be getting a 0 marks here. So here you have to explain first what is 3-tier architecture and you have to illustrate the design of the 3-tier architecture. So next in 24th question, you have to form a questions. BA approach strategy for forming the questions. For this also answer already available in the given information. So please read the information and update your answer. So here for sure you have to show some basic questions, questionnaire. As we all know that we'll be using 5W1H tool, right? So what is this project? Why this project has been initiated? What are the organizational changes we have to do? Are able to get it? 5W1H tool.
Right, sir.
Preparing the
Yes.
questionnaire.
Yes,
So
sir.
here also you have to prepare some basic questions, what and how you can question the client. That's a 24th question. So 25th question, here you have to explain about how many illustration techniques you are aware of. In 25th question, you have to explain how many illustration techniques you are aware of. In 26th, you have to choose any 2 to 3 illustration techniques which we can use for this project to done. In one question, you have to explain how many illustration techniques you know. In second question, you have to explain how many illustration techniques can be used for this project. For next 26th question, you have to explain how many elicitation techniques we have to use. You have to explain here. 26th question. So which elicitation techniques can be used in this project and justify your selection of elicitation techniques? So that is 25th and 26th is also all about elicitation techniques. So first you have to explain how many elicitation techniques you know. Then later on you have to explain how many elicitation techniques can be used for this current running project. Next, 27th question. You have to write 10 business requirements. You have to write 10 business requirements. So you can see example wise we have been given already here. VR001. Farmers should be able to search for available products in fertilizers, seeds and pesticides. BR002. Manufacturers should be able to upload and display their products in their application. So in this way you have to write 10 business requirements. This is the same format. So you have to write 10 business requirements here. 27th question. In 27th question you have to write 10 business requirements at least. 28th question you have to make some assumptions. So which might be like, for suppose the moment you read this case study, they will say that presently we are working on payment method called card and wallets. In the present case study, there is a point called presently we are accepting payments through card and wallets. So which is the payment method is pending? Cash payment, right? So I can say that in future I can give cash payment method. That's an assumption, right? It might be happen, it might not be happen, right? Assumption means which might happen or might not. It's not compulsory. Is that clear? Assumptions is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now here you have to use requirements priority. So for the identified business requirements, you have to give priority level. So priority level, what you have to use here is numbers. Out of 1 to 10, give the priority according to the requirement, what you think which is high, which is low. That means if it is a high, you can give 8, 9, 10. If it is a medium, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it is an above average, 2, 3. If it is poor, you can give 1. Okay. So for the identified 10 business requirements, you have to give priority level in a scale of 1 to 10. You have to give priority level from out of scale of 1 to 10. Clear? Thirtieth question, you have to draw the use case diagram. From the given case study, you have to identify the actors as well as their functionalities, and you have to make a use case diagram. That is 30 question. 30th question here is you have to draw the use case diagram. Clear? In 31st question, you have to write 5 use case specification document. Can anyone say how many use case specification document I have to write for 10 use case? Can anyone say how many use case specification documents I have to write for 10 use cases?
10.
Yes, that's the same format.
Because every use case will have.
Yes. For every essential use cases, you have to write one use case specification document. That's the same thing you have to use here. Depending on the use case diagram, what you have been got, from that, whatever the essential use cases you have, you have to design minimum 5 essential use cases, and you have to write use case specification document for this 5. That is 30, 31. Coming to the 32nd question, you have to draw the activity diagrams. Here also you have to do 5 activity diagrams. Here you may get a doubt that how I can get 5 activity diagrams. I can draw in a single way also, you can think. But for every use case specification document, you have to write or you have to design one activity diagram. For every use case specification document, you have to create one activity diagram. For every use case specification document, you have to create one activity diagram. So for 5 use cases, you have to write 5 activity diagram. For 5 essential use cases, you have to write 5 activity diagrams. Clear? 30, 31, 32. Is anyone have any doubts? 30, 31, 32.
So I have a doubt.
Okay, what is the doubt?
So in the UML diagrams, we have to draw in the tools, right? Like MVisio and all.
Yes.
So MS Visio, sorry. So how can we do it in the MS Word? Like we have to copy and paste, or
Yes.
to just paste
From
a
the tool,
file and
whatever
all?
you have been done the design, take a screenshot or take a picture of that and you can attach it.
Okay, understood.
So 30, 31, 32 is clear, right?
So I have a question.
Yes.
For suppose if we have given use case specification for registration, so we have to make an activity diagram showing the process of registration.
Yes.
Is that the way we have to do?
Yes. That's the exact way you have to do.
Okay, so like that, fine.
Yes, that's the exact way you have to do, I'm saying. Okay. So in 33rd question, you have to identify 10 functional requirements for the project. So for 33rd question, you have to identify 10 functional requirements for the given project. For 33rd question, you have to write 10 functional requirements and non-functional requirements. So minimum 20, that means including both functional as well as non-functional requirements, both combiningly you have to identify 20. Okay. So example kind of a thing we have been given here itself. You can see what is the requirement ID, requirement name, requirement description, priority we have been given. So small change. Okay. So here you have to use priority level, that Moscow technique. Small change. Either if you give numbering also is fine, but most of the times what exactly happens is we use Moscow technique. So it depends on you. Okay. So functional requirement 1, farmer registration. So farmer should be able to do registration with the application. So how much priority it is, you have to make it here. This is what the information what you have to mention in the table column, and you have to identify all your functional requirements. And along with that, you have to identify the non-functional requirements also. So both combiningly, you have to create 20 requirements. Both.
Sir, what you're saying is for the priority, instead of giving numbers, you give like must, could, or MC, something like that.
You can use, or else if you want to go with numbers also, you can do that. Moscow technique you can use, or else numbers.
Okay.
Clear? So next question number 34. So here you have to minimum design 5 screens of a designs prototype. You have to make 5 designs here. For every activity diagram, okay, for every activity diagram you have been designed, you have to do 1 screen design. For every activity design you have been made, you have to create 5 screen designs. 5 activity diagrams, 5 screen designs by using actual prototyping tool.
That is Balsamic.
Sorry?
Using Balsamic software, no?
Either you can use Balsamic or else Axure. If you are interested in both, you can also use both.
Okay.
Make wireframe
Yes,
and prototype.
actually, I was asked to.
You was asked to? Can you come again?
Yeah, I mean, I had submitted first only from Azure, and but afterwards my sir said, "Okay, also give me 5 of Balsamic as well." So I have put both.
That's what. If you, they might say that okay, if you are well and known in one tool, they might ask you to do in another tool also.
Okay.
Nothing happens. It's an experience where you'll be getting to know. Okay.
Of course, it's for our practice. I
Yes.
understand. Yeah.
So 35th question here, you have to explain what are the tools you have been used for the project. 35th question, you have to explain what are the tools you have been used. In prototype, if you use Balsamic, you have to explain about MS Visio and Balsamic. If in prototypes have been used Axure, then you have to explain about MS Visio and Axure. So you can see here information. Make a note of the tools which you are using for the above concepts. So how many tools have been used? You have to explain all the tools. Clear? 35th question is clear?
So,
Sorry?
in the 35th question, you have to write up the tool question.
Yeah, you have to
we will have
give
to
the
write
information
the
about the
specification
tool.
of the.
No, not the specification. Information about the tool.
Okay,
What are the things we can
what
do
exactly
using the
the
video?
tool does, right?
Yeah. What are the things we can do by
Okay.
using
Got
MS Visio? What are the things we can do by using the Axure or Balsamic? You have to explain that.
Okay.
So 36th question here is create RTM document. So this is what the format of the RTM. So here you have to create RTM document. This is the format where you have to follow. So define all your requirements into this RTM. As we all know that we will be updating in a RTM, right, as a BA. So this is what RTM will be having. So it will be having a requirement ID, requirement name, requirement description. So beside to that, we'll create a design. Okay. Again, we'll be writing test 1, test 2, test 3. How many tests has been happened, they have to write it. And finally, we'll be showing this project to the client. User acceptance test will be the last stage. Clear? Understood?
Yes, sir.
RTM, this is the table column where you have to create. For your reference purpose, you have been already mentioned below it. So just follow and update remaining functional requirements and non-functional requirement into this document. This you can use by Excel or any kind of thing also you can use. Either you can use Excel or MS Word also you can use. Fine. 36th question. So 37th. You have to create 10 test case documents. You have to create 10 test case documents. So, anyone have any idea about test case document?
Yes, sir. Test case documents are made by testers, and basically we give commands, whatever commands we are giving in application, they have to prepare that whether they while they are doing the testing, whether that command is it is coming pass or fail, it is correct or incorrect.
BA will give commands.
No, not BA will not give commands. While tester does the testing of the application, at that time he prepares the this test case documents, and whatever commands, whatever requirements that we have given for the app.
Yes.
That particular command is pass or fail.
Yes.
For example, entering a password. So the system should check the password if it is right or wrong, and they
Yes,
define
yes.
whether it is pass or fail.
Yes, that is what you have to do there. So in 37th question, you have to create 10 test case documents. 37th question. Clear? Is that clear? 37.
Yes, sir.
So next
So, for the 37th
question, you have to create 10 test
So we are
case documents.
So here mostly the test case will be the past one, right?
Yes, past.
As we focus on the activity diagram, if in case, yeah. Okay, all right.
If you have workbook with you, you can follow the page number 37. Slide number 37.
Okay.
Okay. Clear? So next, the 38th question. So here you have to design DB, database design. 38th question, you have to do database design. So for example, as a customer, okay, for example, as a customer, I want to order some product, or else I want to view the products. What are the customer details should be provided?
Name, address, mobile number.
Address, mobile number, PIN code, and mail ID, right? These are the information where customer needs to provide. So now, what is the product catalog we have here? What kind of products we have? Fertilizers, pesticides.
Fertilizers, seeds, pesticides.
This comes under product catalog. Yes or no? So now, you have to show the relation between customer info to the product catalog, and if manufacturer wants to upgrade his items into the online agriculture product, he has to register with the online agriculture store, right? Manufacturer. So what are the details should be provided by the manufacturer here is company name, products what they want to sell, and company ID. These are the documents they have to submit, right?
Yes.
These are the things where they have to provide. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the same way, you have to show the database design for how order will be happen, and how payment will be done, and you have to show the relation from customer catalog to product catalog, from product catalog to the manufacturer, from product catalog to order, from order to payment. So what is the relations we have to show that. Clear? Same way data flow diagram also.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in Word only, or we have to use some tool in this also?
That's up to your wish. If you want to use Word, you can use that, or else if you want to use any kind of application for that, you can also use that. There is no restrictions for that.
Okay. Fine.
So 39th also same. Draw data flow diagram. So here you have to show the data, how it flows. You can see here, farmer is placing an order. So if, to place the order, what are the information are required for placing the order? For placing the order, what are the things I have to be updated here?
First, you have to log in.
Name.
Select product.
Customer, first name, last name, mobile number, mail ID, address,
Address.
code, everything should be there.
Payment.
Right?
Product list.
Then this data
Product
will
list
be,
with price.
yes, this data will be transferred from customer to product. It stores the customer information and it sends back to the order. So now what the order will do? Order will store customer details as well as product. Yes or no? So how this data is flowing from one part to other part, you have to show here. Clear? How data is passing from one process to the other process, you have to show the design. Clear? 38, 39 is clear?
Yes, sir.
So then you have to explain about change request. So how change request will happen? So here they have been given a scenario to you that due to a change in government taxation structure, we should change the tax structure. So how do you handle the change request? Because our project budget and everything is being fixed, before date itself. So now if there is a change in government taxation, so you have to convince the client, right? So now how you will handle the situation and how you handle the change request, you have to showcase here. Change request. 40th question, you have to explain about the change request, how you will be doing that. So 41, you have to show difference between change request versus enhancement. 41st question, you have to show difference between change request versus enhancement. Okay. 41st question, you have to explain what is the change request versus enhancement. So 42, estimations. So to complete this project, how many hours we required and how many budget we required, you have to show the estimations here. Estimations, you have to show how many man hours is required here. 42nd. So 43rd question, you have to explain about how a user acceptance test process will happen. In user acceptance test, what is the process will happen there? You have to explain it. 43rd question, you have to explain how user acceptance test will happen. So final question is project closure document. So here you have to show the document of project closure. So this you can find from any other sources also, and you can make it happen here. So here project acceptance form, what exactly happens here is we'll be mentioning the project, what have been worked, project ID, project name, project manager name, project client name. Sorry. So who is the client? Who is the whose project it is? What is the title of project? So what is the status? Whether it's success or failure, everything will be updated, and will show what is the expected output, what is generated output. If everything is accepted by the client, then we'll make a sign on a project acceptance form. So that process, how it will happen, you have to explain it here. That is 44th question. In 44th question, you have to explain how the process will happen. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
44 topics is clear. Still anyone have any doubts?
Sir, in question number 40.
Okay. Yes. Yes, what is the doubt you have?
Sir, in this question, how we frame the answer related to this case study, like as impact analysis,
That's
like
the
impact
same
change
thing we do.
request, or that. Sorry?
That's what you do same here. Impact analysis, effort estimations, whatever you do, that's the same thing we do here.
Okay, fine. So how we correlate this with government tax rule is change? That's I don't know how we correlate with this impact analysis.
But once you attempt it in viva call, we'll be explaining you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine. Shall we close this?
So 34 question.
34.
Yeah, 34.
Okay. 34th. Yes.
What we have to do here? Minimum 5-page designs means we have to draw 5 diagrams.
5 screens you have to design. For login 1, for registration process 1, for search product 1, for view product. Like this, you have to do minimum 5 screen designs.
Then make wireframe and prototypes.
Yes. If you have time, you can do both. If you don't have time, at least focus on one.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Fine, clear?
Number 12.
12.
Gantt chart part.
We are far away from this. Yeah. What is the doubt you have in that?
Due to network issue.
Yeah, fine.
So can you please explain once again, because that time I was unable due to network issue.
In theoretical session, we have been shown a Excel sheet, and we have said you that project manager will plan the project plan in this way, right? He'll update all the resources what we require, and he'll make conversion of whole 1 year project into weeks of time, right? Yes or no? That's
Yes.
the same graph where you have to show here in 12th question, Gantt chart. Use the Excel sheet.
Okay.
And update all the resources who required for this project. Okay. And convert whole 1 year project into weeks of time, and update from which stage onwards which resource we required. Everything.
Okay. Okay.
Shall we go for second case study?
Yes, sir.
So second
37.
In 37th, you have to create a test case documents. Hello.
Hello. It's 838. The DB diagram, I wanted the flow, how you will explain.
So if you want to order any product from online, so what is the customer details we require?
Customer username, mobile number, email ID.
So that is one set of catalog. And the product catalog, what is the products we have here?
Here we have the pesticides, seeds, fertilizers in this project.
Pesticides, fertilizers, seeds.
Yes.
These three will be there in product catalog, right?
Yes.
So you have to show the relations between this. So to product catalog, what is the information I required? How many fields of information I required? You have to update it here. So for product, we required customer name, mail ID, mobile number. Apart from this, we doesn't require anything, right?
No.
So how many things of information we require? You have to show that database design. Data, how should be collected and how it will be accessed with one particular field to other field. Clear?
Okay. Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So second case study we have here is Agile Scrum. So here every topic will be there for only Agile Scrum. No waterfall questions will be there. It's all about Agile Scrum. Okay. So same instructions again. Whatever the instructions have been seen there, that's the same instructions again. So we'll start straight away with the questions. So first question we have here is Agile Manifesto. So here you have to explain your 4 main values and 12 principles. Here you have to explain your Agile 4 main values, and one more thing you have to do here is you have to explain about 12 principles. Clear? First question, you have to update all your 4 main values of Agile and 12 principles. That is the first question where you have to explain about all the things. So in second question, what they asked you is create some user stories. So you can see here sample user stories have been given. So 20th question, you have to create 40 user stories and their acceptance criteria. Second question is you have to create 40 user stories and acceptance criteria. Out of 40, 12 we have been already given example wise. So remaining 28 you have to do it by your own. User story workshop, here you have to create total 40 user stories. Okay, out of 40, 12 we have been provided. Remaining 28 you have to be provided by yourself. Clear? Second question is clear?
So what is BV and CP?
Business value and CP value. So explanation of that you can find out here itself. BV and CP value. So business value means which will be given by the client stakeholders. CP means complexity points. That means how much time it will take to complete the task. This CP points will be given by tech team. This CP value will be provided by the tech team. Okay. So here total you have to write 40 user stories. So and 40 acceptance criteria along with the user stories you have to write. So out of 40 we have been provided 12, and you have to create, if you want any sample template of user story you can found it here itself. If you want any sample template of user story you have to write. You can find it here itself out of this 12. That is the second question. So third question, what you have to do here is you have to explain about epic. Third question, what you have to do here is you have to explain about the epic. What is an epic and what are the examples you have regarding the epic? You have to do that. What is an epic and write 2 epics. So can anyone say what is an epic? Can anyone say what is an epic? Can anyone say what is an epic?
So epic is a complex set of the various use cases.
Next. That's all. Apart from that, there is nothing. Is that all?
I can say a big chunk of work which can be divided into smaller user stories.
Yes, epic is a big user story or big kind of a project where we can't work at a time. So due to which epic will be divided into feature and features will be divided into user stories. So that is all you have to explain about what is an epic, and you have to provide 2 examples for that. Third question is clear. Fourth question, you have to show the difference between BV value and CP values. Fourth question, you have to explain about difference between BV value and CP value. Fourth question, you have to show the differences between BV and CP value. Clear? So fifth question here is explain about sprint. So here you have to explain what is about sprint and what is the process will happen in a sprint. Exactly, you have to explain here what we do in real time. We have to explain here what is a sprint means, and you have to show what is a sprint value, sprint duration, everything you have to showcase here. Clear?
Right, sir. Yes.
So that's a fifth question. You can see what are the things you have to explain here in the down itself we have been given. Okay. So sixth question here is you have to explain about difference between product backlog and sprint backlog. So in product backlog what we do and sprint backlog what we do. You have to explain here. So product backlog what we do, we make sure everything is ready, right? Product backlog what we do exactly, we'll make sure each and everything is ready, right? All user stories, BV value, CP value, prioritization technique, everything is ready or not, we'll be checking, right? Yes or no? So that's the same way here you have to explain about sprint burn on chart. Sorry, product backlog and sprint backlog. What exactly the information will be there in product backlog and what exactly the information will be there in sprint backlog, you have to explain it here. Sixth question is clear. Explain all about the process of product backlog and sprint backlog. So seventh question, you have to explain all type of challenges. Impediments log means what are the challenges you have been faced in the current sprint. That is what you have to explain here. Seventh question means what are the impediments you have been faced. Impediments is nothing but challenges which you have been faced. Clear? You have to explain about all challenges what have been faced. You have to explain about all challenges what you have been faced in creation of this kind of project. That is the impediments log. So you have to file 2 logs here. So one challenge we have been given here, that is nothing but, as if I am using first time this Balsamic or Actual, so I will be facing a difficult, right? Just imagine for the first time I'm using Actual and Balsamic. Will I be in a difficult or I can do it?
It will be challenging, sir.
Difficult.
Yeah, that's the same way here. While you do the project in Agile Scrum, what are the challenges you have been faced? You have to mention in this implements log. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That's the 7th one. 8th question, you have to explain about velocity. So 8th question, you have to explain velocity of the team. So can anyone say what is a velocity means? Can anyone say what is a velocity means? Don't say speed, velocity, these all things. In terms of Agile, what will be the velocity means?
I think in Agile, yeah, measuring units of work which is completed in the time frame.
Yes. Total number of complexity points covered in a sprint is called velocity. So we have given explanation here itself. You can see how many CP points. CP is nothing but complexity points is covered in the sprint. You have to explain it. That's the 8th question. So 9th question, you have to draw sprint burn down chart and product burn down chart. 9th question, you have to draw this kind of charts. 9th question, you have to draw sprint burn down chart and product burn down chart. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So 9th question, you have to draw sprint burn down chart and product burn down chart. So in 10th question, you have to explain about product grooming. So in this product grooming, what exactly we do? What is the process of doing that? And what is the purpose of doing that? You have to explain it. In product grooming session, we explain what is the purpose of doing that. Okay. What are the uses of doing that? You have to explain it here. Product grooming. So in 10th question, you have to explain about product grooming session. So what exactly the information will be updated there. Okay. So 11th question, you have to explain the roles of Scrum Master and Product Owner. So in Agile Scrum, you have to explain the roles of Scrum Master and Product Owner. Is that clear? In 11th question, you have to explain the roles of Scrum Master and Product Owner. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So 12th question, you have to explain all the meetings, what will be conducted. So how many types of meetings we are having? In Agile Scrum, how many types of meetings we have?
So daily sprint meetings, Scrum review and Scrum retrospective.
Total 5, right? Sprint planning meeting, sprint review meeting, daily stand-up meeting, sprint retrospective meeting, and product grooming session, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So total 5. So you have to explain all the meetings here. So next, 13th question, you have to explain sprint size and scrum size. So what is the sprint size will be and what is the scrum size we have, you have to explain here in 13th question. So 14th question will be, you have to explain about definition of ready and definition of done. So what is the process involved in definition of ready, and as well as what is the process involved in definition of done, you have to explain it here in 14th question. In 14th question, you have to explain what is the information will be available in definition of ready and definition of done. Clear? So 15th question, you have to explain prioritization technique and MVP. So prioritization technique, what we have here, Masco, right? For Agile Scrum, which technique we use? Prioritization technique. In Agile Scrum, for prioritization technique, which we use? Masco. Must should good conditions we use here. So here you have to explain about prioritization technique and MVP. So 16th, difference between business analyst and product owner. So 15th question, you have to explain about prioritization technique and MVP. 16th question, you have to explain difference between business analyst and product owner. Guys, what happened? Are you able to get this?
Yeah, got it.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. So final question here in Agile Scrum is, prepare a sample resume of 3 years experience of product owner. So just imagine you're trying to apply for product owner of 3 years of experience. You have to create a resume here. Product owner resume. Clear? Seventeenth question, you have to prepare a sample resume of 3 years of experience for product owner.
So we have to create a resume of our own in this, or
yes, your own.
with our experience.
Yeah, by implementing product owner responsibilities. Like what actually the product owner will do.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear for everyone? Still anyone have any doubts? Out of these 17 questions, still anyone have any doubts?
So the only apprehension is that we need to prepare for the product owner or for
No, only
BA role. I
product owner.
Okay.
Only for product owner.
I
Fine.
see.
Yeah. We'll do one thing. We'll take 5 minutes break. So continuously means it will also be somewhat boring for you. Okay. So by 4:10, I'll explain you the third thing. Okay. Third capstone project I'll be explaining by 4:10. Just take 5 minutes of relax. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
Is it fine or shall we continue directly?
The break will be fine.
Sorry?
The break will be fine.
Okay, fine. Take 5 minutes of break. Again, we'll meet by 4:10. So I'll explain you about third capstone project. Everyone is back? Guys,
Yes,
everyone
sir.
is back, right? Shall we start?
Yes, everyone is back, right? Start? Yes.
So third
Yes, sir.
Capstone project will consisting of all basic questions like what is do's and don'ts of a BA, what are the challenges will face by the BA, okay, what is an MVC architecture means, okay. So first 6 questions is a different case study where you have to work on how a customer makes payment through either card, either wallet, either cash, or either net banking. So for attempting this, you have to draw the use case diagram, but you have to draw in a way that identifying the boundary class, controller class, entity class. In this way, you have to draw the use case diagram. I'm giving a hint to you to identify it, okay? So you have to draw the use case diagram in terms of you have to identify boundary class, controller class, and entity classes. So if you are aware of your theoretical sessions, while we explain you the MVC architecture, once we have been updated you what is the model class, what is the view class, what is the controller class. 1 second, guys.
So there is no sound.
Sorry?
Your voice was not audible
No,
for
I
a
have
moment.
been muted.
I have been muted. Okay.
So here you have to draw the use case diagram. Like if you recognize your theoretical classes, while we explain you the MVC architecture rules, we have been given some small case studies, right? Are you able to remember?
Yes, sir.
So now you say me, what is the controller class here? Customer makes payment either by card or by wallet or by cash or by net banking. Can you say me what is the controller class here? Any guesses?
Customer.
No. Payment.
Customer making payment.
Making payment is a controller class. Okay.
Making payment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first you have to draw the use case diagram. So the moment you're done with the drawing of use case diagram, from that diagram you have to identify the boundary class, controller class, and entity classes. And you have to make this all things into 3-tier architecture. So application layer, business logic layer, and database layer. So which components will be placed on which layer, you have to identify and have to place them all into the 3-tier architecture. So place these all classes on 3-tier architecture. You have to do it on third question. So next 4th question, you have to explain the domain model for customer making payment through net banking. Domain model. So this also we have been explaining in theoretical sessions, where we have been shown you that a customer will update their card details like card number, year of expiry and month of expiry, CVV number. These all 3 will be sent to controller class by agent. The controller class will add company account details, purpose of withdrawing the amount, what is the total amount to be drawn, recollecting. Are you able to get this? explain domain model for customer making payment through net banking. So fifth question, you have to draw the sequence diagram. So I guess you all know about the sequence diagram where you have to show the step-by-step process, how exactly the information is passing. And sixth one is explain the conceptual model for this case. These are the 6 questions which you have to do first. And seventh question, you have to explain about MVC architecture and what are the guidelines of MVC. Seventh question, you have to explain what is an MVC architecture and you have to explain MVC architectural rules. And you have to show the guidelines how we can place all the information into 3-tier architecture. These are the things you have to explain in seventh question. So eighth question, you have to explain BA contribution in project. So for this, you can refer 85 page number from workbook. Explain BA contribution in project. That you have to refer page number 85 from your workbook. That means material. So you have to explain what is conflicts management means. And you have to explain the Thompson-Kilman technique. First, you have to explain what is conflicts management and explain using Thompson-Kilman technique. This is the 9th question where you have to explain. So 10th question, as usual, list out all the challenging areas of a BA, project failures, like what is the main reasons for project failure. So what are the document naming standards you have to follow? What is the do's and don'ts of a business analyst? Difference between package and subsystems. Camel casing. These are the basic questions which you all know, right? Is there anyone who doesn't know this? Is there anyone who doesn't know this? Is there anyone who doesn't know this?
know this.
16th question. You have to illustrate the development server and what are the accesses does business analyst has. So in V model explanation, we have been shown the development server. If you have idea of about that server, you have to draw the image first. And by that image, you have to explain what all the access does BA has. That is the 16th question. So 17th question, you have to explain about what is a data mapping. So how data is mapping with one-on-one, you have to explain it here in theoretical way. 17th question is what is data mapping, you have to explain it here. So 18th one.
Explain 16 one like
16th one.
Yeah.
You have to illustrate the development server image. How exactly the development server will be there. You have to design it and you have to explain what all the areas does BA is involved. That means accessed with. What all the areas does BA is accessed with, you have to explain it there.
Okay.
Understood? Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
So next you have to explain what is API, application integration, API. So we have to explain the process of this API integration and how it will be helpful for us and in which area it will helpful for us. So here we have to explain what is API means and you have to explain how it will be useful for us. That is 18th one. So 19th question, you have to explain differences between two elicitation techniques, that is brainstorming on joint application development. So what exactly we do in brainstorming and what we do in joint application development, you have to explain it clearly. Clear differences. And 20th question, you have to explain why document analysis is one of the compulsory technique we use in a project. So you have to justify why, what is the reason of using document analysis in elicitation technique, which is the most thing which we use in real time. You have to explain it and you have to justify what are the reasons. So 21st question will be, in which context we will use reverse engineering. So can anyone say in which context we use reverse engineering? Now can anyone say in which context we can use reverse engineering? In which context we can use reverse engineering elicitation techniques?
Where the software for the existing system has little or outdated documentation.
No, in which area we use, I'm asking. Reverse engineering, what we do, that's the same thing we have been done. But what is the reason of using this? By doing reverse engineering, what exactly you get? You can understand the current features, what they've been used and how it's working, right? Working features you can extract from this reverse engineering, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Working features of the current system can be known by doing reverse engineering, right? So that is 24th question. How do you conduct the, 21st, in which context we will use reverse engineering? You have to explain in 21st question. So 22nd is, what is the difference between brainstorming and focus group? 22nd question, you have to give the difference between brainstorming and focus group. So can anyone say what is the major difference? Can anyone say what is the major difference between brainstorming and focus group? What is the major difference?
Brainstorming involves almost all the stakeholders. Focus group focuses only certain teams.
So brainstorming is done for generating the ideas, while in focus group we know what exactly we have to discuss, what requirements needs to be discussed, and experts are involved.
Sir, in focus group, we focus on specific outcome.
That's a major thing. In brainstorming and focus group, both the things we use for generating a lots of ideas, right? Brainstorming and focus group, both we use for generating lots of ideas, yes or no? But major difference here is, in focus group, we can't review and we can't confirm the requirements which have been analyzed. In focus group, we can't take decision whether it's success or failure, right? In focus group, we can generate idea, but you can't finalize that requirement. Yes or no? Is that clear? Focus
So,
group.
but even while we do the brainstorming, we only focus on generating ideas, right? We don't really discuss.
Generating the idea by reviewing it and making confirmation.
Okay.
In brainstorming, as not only you deliver or identify the idea, but what extra thing we do here is we will brainstorming. What extra thing we do here is we will analyze that and we will identify the perfect idea which are required. Out of 10 ideas, in focus group, I don't do anything, but in this platform of thing, I can check and I can finalize the idea also. In brainstorming, I can check and I can identify the clear. Brainstorming means you will be generating ideas and you will be getting verified instantly. But in focus group, we can't get verification. After implementing that ideas only, you can get a verifications. That is a major difference between 1-to-1. That is 22nd question. So 23rd question, you have to explain about observation technique. So in observation techniques, we have active and passive. That also you have to explain clearly. That is 23rd question. Explain about observation technique. In 24th question, you have to explain about how do you conduct the requirements workshop. What is the information you require to conduct requirements workshop? You have to explain it. 24th question. How do you conduct the requirements workshop? And in 25th question, you have to explain about interview technique. In which context you will be using interview technique, and that technique can be conducted by BA, right? So how many approaches are there in conducting interviews? And you have to explain all the types of options available. We have to address that all the things. 25th question, in which context you will be using the interview technique, and you have to be show how many approaches we can take to conduct the interviews and how many types of interviews are there. You have to explain it clearly. That is 25th question. So 26th question is questionnaire technique. Where will we use? You have to give one example. So how to sort the requirements, you have to explain it and you have to give it an example. So now 29th one, you have to generate a weekly status report. So I guess you all are aware of status reports. Monthly report, yearly report will be have, right? Yes or no? Monthly report, yearly report. Guys,
A monthly report of the how the project is going on.
generally I'm saying report means what I'm saying. Okay, so we'll be having this kind of reports, but here we are expecting you to update weekly status report. So what is the status you will be updating to your higher officials? You have to explain here weekly status report. Clear? So next 30th thing, meeting minutes document. So in every day we have some meetings, right? Daily stand-up meetings, or else some other meetings will be there. Whatever the meetings we have been conducting, that has to be covered, because we will be updating in a status report that I have been attended the meeting, right? If you don't have any proof, you'll not get any salary for that period, right? Yes or no? If they don't have proper information about your okay. Then by doing this minutes of meeting document, we can get clarity like what are the discussion points have been made, what are the changes have been made. So whether we can implement that or not, we'll be discussing. That is all about meeting minutes document. So next you have to explain about change tracker document. So how change tracker document will be updated and what is the information we require to generate this change tracker update.
So do we need to prepare
Are there any formats?
One by one.
So I'm asking, are there any formats for this weekly status report, meeting, minutes document?
No, there will be no exact information about that.
So we can write it in a summary?
Yes.
Okay.
So next you have to explain about difference between traditional development model and agile model. Okay, so basically it is nothing but the differences between waterfall and agile model. So this is what you have to explain here. Explain about waterfall model and agile scrum model. Clear? That is 32nd question, difference between traditional development and agile development. In 33rd question, you have to explain about brainstorming technique. 33rd question, you have to explain brainstorming technique and where we use brainstorming, you have to explain it clearly. That is all about 33rd question. So coming to 34 to 38, here we have been given a scenario to you, case study 2. In prep 3, that means Capstone project's third case, you have total 2 tasks involved. First task is you have to explain about the information how customer is making payment. And second case study you have here is there is small change in employment loan. So generally the employees will apply for loan in a companies itself, right? So regarding that itself, we have been created a scenario here. So if you see the 34th question, what reports accounts department will generate? What is the structure of the message or mail communicated from the HR department to the employee in case of loan is rejected? What is the structure of the message or mail communicated from the HR department to the employee in case the loan is approved? So same way, design a sample report on the loan application received by the accounts department. So generally, what kind of reports will be conducted by the accounts team? Generally,
probably salary disbursement.
So salary, employment accounts, right? Loan accounts, loan repay accounts, right? So those all you have to explain here. So design a sample report on loan applications received by the accounts department. So just a sample report you have to mention that whatever the information have been received from the accounts department. That is 37th question. So 38th question. So they are asking you which reporting tool will be used for generating a reports. Which tool can be used for generating a report?
Tableau or the Power BI reports we use.
Yes, we do have some other tools also. Think and write it.
Yeah.
So that's all about 3 Capstone projects. That's all about 3 Capstone projects. Do you have any doubts in
So
this?
these exams we have to submit in PDF file and write to an email address.
Code document. You'll be getting a portal access. Okay. I guess already you have been got the portal access.
Yes, yes.
We do have
It
a
is assigned.
COEPD
First
portal.
exam is assigned.
Yes.
Sir,
So in the portal
sir,
itself,
we can get
one
set
second.
of questions.
Sorry.
Where we can get these set of questions?
In portal itself.
Okay.
How submitting this exam, sir?
I'll show you the basic thing. So right now you'll be getting only this view option here, right? In your system, in your portal login, you'll be getting this view option here, right? Directly click on this edit option. Click on this edit option, you'll be getting to So if you click on this edit option, you'll be getting this type of options to you. So instead of this view answer, you'll be having your option called upload your document.
Okay.
So there you have to click on upload document, then you have to choose the file which you want to upload, then click on.
Understood.
Click on submit. Is this clear? Still anyone?
Yes.
Fine.
And after every page on the last, there is an email address mentioned. What is that used for? Nurture@BA, something like that.
See, first you have to use a student chat board. Okay. Clear? If you have any concerns, first you will be using your student chat board. Student coordinator chat board is option is there, right, in your portal. That you'll be using first. Then in secondary, if there is no response from them, then you have to use your feedback option or escalation option, right?
Right.
After these two people are not giving any replies to you, then you can reach out to the COEPD.nurturing.BA. So it's a student coordinator mail ID. Okay. So they'll be giving you revert through this mail. If you have any concerns, first you have to follow these two things. If they're not getting any replies from this, then you can approach with this mail ID. nurtureba at copd.nurtureba@gmail.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So shall I end the session?
Sir, so in total, how many projects will be there? The Capstone